Welcome to Dan's Haunted Cottage. Step inside if you dare.
Hi guys, yes, I'm in a graveyard, a very, very old graveyard, and I've got an absolutely beautiful church behind me, and from the style of it, I think it's probably Norman, so it's probably been here best part of 1,000 years. Now, the reason I've come here today, I wanted to do a vlog, and I wanted to talk about something that a couple of people have asked me over the years. Hey Dan, why will you not do TV work? Well, you know what? There's a very good reason for that. I mean, I think I might have spoken about this before, but the reason I won't do TV work, particularly with the paranormal field, I mean, I've done it with other things, but I won't do it with the paranormal field, purely and simply because I don't really want to compromise myself. I've been in this field, as you know now, guys, for many, many years, and I try and contribute as much to it as I possibly can. But the one thing that I don't want to do is I don't want to compromise myself. I don't want to lie to people. I don't want to give people some false evidence, false information. With me, it's very much a case of what you see is what you get. And as I said before, chances are of something happening on a paranormal investigation is very, very remote. And once you partner up with, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of good people out there that have taken up contracts, do TV work, and if that's what you want to do, that's fine, go for it. Good luck to you, and I hope that you get everything out of it that you want. But for me, I don't think it would work, because, as I say, I'm not willing to compromise myself, and I'm not willing to sell out, and I'm certainly not willing to lie to the public, because paranormal investigation, irrespective of what you think, whether you do it as a hobby, whether you do it as if it's more of a calling for you, whatever it is, and I think it's more of a calling for me as it is with a few people. I think you have to do it to the best of your abilities, and you have to be honest in the way that you approach it, and the way that you show it to people, and the way that you do it as well. And the thing with the TV company is that you can go along with the best intentions in the world. I'm sure that a lot of these paranormal investigators have, and then they buy into the whole producers and production team's idea of, well, we're going to do it this way, and you can do it the way you want to do it. You can offer it up to us the way that you want to offer it up, and you can keep it as honest and as close to reality as possible. But the truth of the matter is that no production company is going to give you many thousands of pounds. I don't know how much. I'm thinking an awful lot of money to produce nothing, to come out with video footage 24 hours in a reputedly haunted property with absolutely nothing to show for it. So what do? Yeah, you're right. They'll start to produce it themselves. They'll start to expect you to produce it. They will compromise you into, well, let's not beat around the bush here. They'll compromise you into lying, and you're not just, you're selling yourself out. You're selling your public out, and that's not really the way that you should be approaching or doing paranormal investigations. But if you can get a deal, and maybe you can get a deal somehow that would enable you to do it the way that you want to do it, and to do it honestly, then that's great, and that's fantastic. I do really think that a lot of people that do it on TV aren't really in it for, or maybe they start out in it for the right reasons, but I think that with some of them, fame and fortune, it runs away with them. And I've certainly met people in this field that I've worked alongside of that, unfortunately, it seemed to me that their main intent was to actually sell out all along. It didn't seem like they were really that interested in the paranormal field. And even if they were, the idea of fame and fortune and becoming some sort of pseudo-celebrity, it soon outshone the idea of being a paranormal investigator. And it's an ego trip for a lot of people. I'm not saying for everybody, but it's an ego trip for a lot of people. And of course, today's, the thing with the paranormal investigations now is that I think it's out of favour, When I started all them years ago, there weren't that many people doing it, and obviously there was no sort of internet, so you couldn't research anything. There was mobile phones were pretty limited, and a lot of the people that were out there couldn't really contact each other, so we A didn't know who B was, and B didn't know who C was. So you know, there's quite a few good things that have come out with the internet and with modern technology. It allows us to link up to like-minded people, but saying that, it also means that people can exploit it, and people can go about it the wrong way and do it completely the wrong way, and do it for the wrong reasons. There are still a few of us out there that are honest to the cause and true to the cause, but as I was saying, when I started out all them years ago, there weren't that many people doing it at the time. It was quite a novelty, really, and it was a time when people looked at you like you were quite odd and quite strange, and indeed some people still do. In fact, most people still look at me like that anyway. Might not have anything to do with a paranormal investigator, but they just look at me like that anyway, and who am I to say that they're wrong? But yes, there weren't that many people doing it, and then I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, I think it was after the advent of a particularly well promoted TV program at the time, all of a sudden all and sundry were picking up pieces of equipment, buying pieces of equipment. I'd never seen the market flooded with so much useless expensive tat as I did at that time. And then, you know, everybody was an expert, and as I've said before, you can't be an expert in this field. You know, I know as much as the next man knows as much as me. You know, the only thing that I can have any kind of knowledge in is the equipment and how to go about it. But, you know, I'm certainly not an expert, because there's nothing tangible to be an expert of. And I've said that before as well, and I'm going over old ground. But as I say, you know, a few years ago, the market was flooded with people. There was lots and lots of different organisations. There were lots of different clubs set up. And sadly, there was infighting, there was all sorts of backbiting, there was lots and lots of problems, and this always happens with people when they tend to band together. But there's still a lot of good people out there, and you know, I've still got a lot of friends from that time period. But you know, as time's gone on, most of those people now, they seem to have fell off the face of the earth. They've certainly fell off the face of the paranormal scene. I don't see many of them anymore. And you know, you could open up a computer, open up a laptop, flick through it, paranormal groups, stick it in, search engine, press the button search, and there will be loads of them come up. But now, very few and far between. There don't seem to be that many now. And I think that it's fell out of favour again. It probably will pick up at some point. But this is the thing, getting back to TV. TV's done a lot of good work for it, because it's brought it out to the open, it's made it more mainstream, but it's also opened it up for abuse. And you know, some of them TV programs that I'm talking about are the main contributors of the abuse to it. So, yeah, I wouldn't do it unless it was done honestly, unless it was done properly, professionally, as professional as you can do it, and respectfully. Because, you know, I do believe that you have to be respectful. And that, you don't just believe it, you do have to be respectful. That's the main objective of it. Because if there is spirit out there, if there are energies out there, you know, you don't just go bowling in and start insulting them, as I've seen time and time again. You know, it's the same with, I always say to people, you know, when your time comes, when you pass over, would you be happy for somebody to talk to you like that? Would you be happy for somebody to talk to a member of your family or a loved one like that? No, you wouldn't. So why are you doing it? What gives you the right? You get more responses, I think, through being positive and loving and kind and honest from spirit and the living than you do through being a bully. There's no reason to be a bully. But that's the reason that I won't do TV. I mean, you know, I wouldn't completely say no, but I'd probably do things like one-offs and that, because, as I say, if you can't produce if you can't produce the activity, then it's not going to work. You know, people only go so far with you. Production companies will only go so far with you, to the point that they start losing money. And you know, if my track record was anything to go by, they 99% of the time they would be losing money. You know, and even the things I do get and have had, even though some of them are significant, most of them aren't. Not that I've had that much, as I've said. And I don't think that they would run with that. I don't think they would be happy with that. I don't think that that would fill their quota, as it were. So yeah, you just got to be careful who you get into bed with, really. Wow, that didn't sound healthy. It's not a ghost. It's not a screaming spirit. It's someone's car. Although it may be possessed, I don't know. But yeah, so just be careful who you go along with, who you get in with. And you know, I used to be involved with many groups and lots of people over the years. As I say, a lot of them have fell by the way. Some of them I choose not to deal with anymore, because it's a personal thing. I don't think that the way that they did it was right for me. You know, they may have their feelings about me, and that's fair enough. We're all entitled to our opinions. But for me, that wasn't the route I wanted to take, and I'm not going to compromise myself. I'm not going to, dare I say it, I won't prostitute myself or my field for anything, you know. And the reason I do it is I do it for credible reasons, like a lot of good paranormal investigators out there. I do it because I want to get evidence. I do it because I want to find answers, not just for myself, but for other people. When I go around and I do investigations in people's homes, private homes, the priority is that I always give the main priority and prioritise where children are concerned, and where they're not having a very good time of it, because, you know, we want to sort their problems out and hopefully get them back onto a normal footing in life, so that they can enjoy their life and not go through it fearful of what's hiding in the wardrobe, under the bed, or in the darkest corners of their rooms. So yeah, but you know, guys, all I'm saying, you know, I'm not going to knock anybody. Each their own, horses for courses, they say. If that's a route you want to take, who am I to say that, you know, you shouldn't? I'm not. I'm just an ordinary guy, an ordinary ghost hunter, paranormal investigator, call me what you will, that wants to go out there and find answers and be as honest as I can. So yeah, it's a lovely day here. I was really enjoying it until that car went screeching past. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to say goodbye, or just au revoir, as it's French, you know, French. And I'm going to go and get myself a coffee, I think, because it's a nice day. But I'm going to sit here for another few minutes and just enjoy the sunshine and enjoy the peace and quiet of my surroundings. That sounds very creepy and odd, doesn't it? Enjoy the peace and quiet of my surroundings. I'm in a graveyard, for God's sake. Anyway, take care, guys. Look out for each other. Look after each other. Be kind to one another. And I will speak to you soon. Bye.